Hey there, party people. We hope you're having a great time. And since there's never a good time for the music to stop, you need more than just fast Wi-Fi. You need Xfinity XFi to keep the party going. This is beyond Wi-Fi. This is XFi. Tap the banner to learn more.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. It is the dawn of a new day. New Year's Evil's over. You're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show.
And Jaja, what's up, y'all?
And my co-host for life, Jaja. It is January 1st, 2016, and you're listening to the revolutionary force in alternative media. You're tuned in to the Bruce Montalvo Show. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2016 now. Happy New Year's, Jaja.
Happy New Year, Bruce.
Happy New Year indeed.
We're here in New York City, we're not fools, okay? I don't know, everybody's got this disillusionment that New York is so amazing to come to during New Year's, but in fact, it's really the worst place you could ever imagine, and you want to hide if you really live here.
You know what I heard? I heard they had to hold in their pee and poo for like 9 hours.
Since two. They let them in. They stopped letting them into that area. Total police mess. FEMA probably is right there guarding it.
Well, that's why it was the safest place for the New World Order to supervise, because everybody had to hold in their piss and their scheisse.
Wait, they might not have had to hold it, Bruce.
Why not?
Because they have these grown-up human diapers.
Yeah, they just go around the back and take a...
No, they wear the
dumpster.
The diapers. The human diapers.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they're really, really big in Japan. They're super popular, so they can...
Well, poop in general is just popular in Japan.
Yeah, but they have like...
they poop in restaurants. They have like toilets as like seats inside restaurants. It's pretty disgusting.
The whole restaurant looks like a toilet bowl. I think that's the one you're talking about. The whole architecture, the facade of the building is a toilet bowl.
It's like a giant porcelain palace of
poop.
Japanese food.
Porcelain palace of poop.
With samurai freaking turds. Anyway, folks.
Sushi poop.
It is 2016. Definitely a dawn of a new day. Who knows what the Masons that worship Baal have in store for us.
Well, yeah, they already started with their sacrificial
burning of the towers. Didn't they? They predicted that something was going to happen in New York. I think I saw on Red Flag News, like some type of predictive programming of the One World Trade Center on fire, and then you have this towering inferno here in the story in Dubai.
And what's interesting, Bruce, is that you said yourself is that the Freedom Towers was really a Muslim shrine.
Well, it has a giant Muslim victory minaret at the top.
Exactly. So Dubai is in the Arab Emirates, which is Muslim by nature. And I didn't even look at the building yet. So, but I'm sure, it's wild looking.
But here's what it reminds me of, because they were talking about New York and 9/11. It reminds me of the fallacy, the farce that was 9/11. How they want you to believe that 3 buildings fell down due to just 3 structural steel buildings fell down due to fire. I mean, it just reminds you of the L.A. Interstate Bank fire in Los Angeles. I mean, that thing burned for over 24 hours, and you have other buildings like in Shanghai and Madrid, other skyscrapers
Russia
have burned for hours and did not fall in its own footprint and free fall collapse. I mean, so many theories out there, from Star Wars technology to mini nukes. You know what happened. I mean, NIST went in there and was taking people's evidence of hearing bombs going off. I mean, even George W. Nazi himself said, we had explosives in the building. Fooled you once, fooled you twice. Shame on me.
The explosives, yeah.
Right?
It's a lot of stuff that went down. That it wasn't just one way they took down those buildings.
Well, that's the thing. It's really New Year's evils being ruled with New Year's fear. It's just fear, fear, fear. Oh, you need to be in place because we're gonna freaking blow up this building. Or you saw what freaking Merkel did in Germany. She canceled New Year's evil.
That's
due
crazy.
to ISIS threats, and you know ISIS is run by the United States government.
Yeah.
And the Pentagon. The top.
It's
And who's giving them guns? Hitler or Clinton, buddy?
So that means that the government can spy on you if you were participating in any kind of festivities?
Right.
And they could, tell you that you're not allowed, fine you, take a record that you're not following orders? I don't understand. You know, how could you not want to party if you wanted to party? I mean, you know, if you want to drive with a bunch of drunk idiots on the roads, you know what I'm saying, like, and possibly risk your life or many other conditions, you know, a ticket or whatever the hell, or an accident, just then I don't understand, you know, why it's not, that they don't have their right to do that. It seems really bizarre. I'd have to look into that. That's really crazy. I can't imagine what would they do to you? To come and take note of it as a infidel? You're an infidel for celebrating New Year's.
No, Merkel just canceled New Year's on the threat that ISIS was going to strike in Germany. Again, like I'm telling you, they're just ramping up the fear button.
But New Year's what? You can't cancel the time. It's going to be New Year's at 12:01 no matter what, even in Germany. You know, so she canceled that? They're going to be a minute less?
I mean, she obviously knows better than you because, like her father, she was on the cover of Time. You had Hitler on the cover of Time, and you had Merkel on the cover of Time, so there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you're ringing in the New Year, folks. And
Like
I'll tell you how else they rang in the New Year in Los Angeles at the Rose Parade. They had a B-2, a.k.a. Spirit stealth bomber ring in the New Year. How do you like that? A stealth bomber just flying over you, ready to drop nukes on you like it's Nagasaki or Hiroshima. Huh?
Yeah.
Like that. You're supposed to be enjoying your parade with your Star Wars floats and your Laker floats, even though the Lakers had a terrible season, and the Baphomet worshipping 666 Illuminati, Boule Mason, Kobe Bryant's finally retiring. Hey, you know, I met him once in Cabo San Lucas, actually. You know, we were driving by, and he had these two little Paisa security guards with, like, AK-47s. And we drove by. I was like, Kobe! You know what I'm saying? It was like 2000. I think they just won the title around that time.
Speaking of 666, we were watching this movie called Pontypool last night.
Right.
We were supposed to open up the show as with your invitation of Imus.
Oh, well, you know, hey, if I'm going to do that, I got to tell them to buy my pillow. Because, you know, my show is just so boring. You know, they need a pillow.
Yeah. I mean, that guy doesn't really talk. I mean, he doesn't really say anything.
You know, that's funny you mentioned Imus. I actually started my AM career as a broadcaster in the same radio station in the Inland Empire that Imus started out of.
Well, in the movie, they were 666.
What was it called?
Pontypool.
Pontypool. It was this insane story of, like, these right-wing type talk show hosts in the morning that are enduring the just zombie apocalypse of sorts. But here it had a PC twist because it was induced through certain words.
Yeah.
So you have like freaking PC principle taking over Hollywood here.
Yeah, and changing words like from kill, switching it to kiss.
You know, Nazis love that.
Yes.
Oh, I'm not killing you. I'm kissing you.
I'm kissing you with my gun open wide.
You know, I was talking about the Rose Parade, okay? And, you know, they had Indian Punjab floats.
Indian Punjab floats,
Punjab floats. See, they had all the best floats for me this year. I could have seen the shitty Laker floats and the Star Wars floats. And then
they must have been beautiful.
The Indian Punjab floats, my
Lots
friend.
of orange and pink, I think. Beautiful.
No, but you know who's sponsoring this? Some type of Phoenician Phoenix Construction Mason Company.
Yeah.
Right away, they just show you little symbols in between things. You know, they show you who's putting up the money for all these floats. And you said another thing about the Rose Parade. They got a song.
Well, yeah.
The Nazis got a song called what? Rambling Rose?
Well, Nazis,
what
Grateful Dead. I mean, the fact is
those
there
guys
was
are Nazis, right? Nazis? Didn't they drop hammers on people just to see what would happen?
Yeah, with Bob Weir or something like that.
Yeah, didn't they hang out in L.A. or something, in Laurel Canyon, Nazi Canyon, Rusty Canyon?
Yeah, all of them were like, their fathers or lookalikes were totally working for Hitler as the butler, the chauffeur, the bodyguard, the doctor. You know, there was all these private. But there was an anti-Nazi movement called the Rambling Rose,
right?
The White Rose, right? White Rose. So there was. I'm sorry, the Grateful Dead also had a rose as a symbolic.
Yeah, and they got a bunch of SS symbols and for the band and skull and bones. Anyway, we're talking about Nazis as usual, and now we're gonna segment into our new segment for this year called Nazi fear-mongering predictions for 2016. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple of those. I have one. Here's mine. Drum roll, please. CERN to open up new dimensions in 2016. What do you think of that? Am I Nazi fear-mongering, Jaja?
Oh, yeah. That's not happening.
It's not happening.
No.
They're not going to expand into more universes that we thought were unknown.
You will not see any more universes except for what Universal
Okay, that is
gives
hilarious. How about this? Here's the next one. Financial collapse. It happens this year. Am I Nazi fear-mongering once again?
Ah, yeah. If you're, like, stupid and you, like, don't know how to use
Nazi
your brain and, like,
folks.
You know, take care of your needs. Or you want to overspend on your credit cards that you shouldn't have taken out in the first place.
That's what America's all about. And just kicking the can down the road. So you will max out that credit card.
But why do they want to be like the Joneses? Everybody got to be like the Joneses. The Joneses, the people on the other side of the fence, you know, like, you know, they're not happy with what they have. They always got to get what, you know, the other person
I thought you were talking about Bill. Anyway, here's the next one. 2016 presidential race canceled due to some type of executive action by the dictator-in-chief Obama. You can install some type of HR 645 martial law initiative, or there could either be an attempt on Barry's life. Am I Nazi fear-mongering, Judge?
You will not see an attempt on Barry Obama's.
Oh, well, you know, a lot of people hate me. A lot of people out there hate me just because I'm black.
Couldn't even think of his last name.
That's right.
Frank Marshall Davis. Barry Marshall Davis.
That's right. Very much.
Yeah, I doubt it. Okay, yeah.
And the moon's made of cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, here's the next one. The Pope. The singing Pope will be assassinated in 2016. Am I Nazi fear-mongering, Jaja?
You will not see the Pope dying this year. You might see him singing with by Bruce Montalvo, you know, a.k.a.
Yeah, I got some hits. I got a Pope album coming out. It's called The Pope's Greatest Hits.
This is serious. Yo, he's got like mega hits on.
I got mega hits
on his Pope videos.
I Am the Pope.
I Am the Pope rap. So what is it called again? So they can search for it.
It's called Gangsta Pope Hip Hop Rap. And then my newest single for the holidays, which was Pope Sings Wham! Last Christmas Pop Ballad. You can find those on YouTube, my friends, and on iTunes pretty soon.
Yeah, he's gonna make a spoof comedic album, which in copyright law he can use other people's beats.
That's right, Pope.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, the Pope's coming out saying that I sing like a donkey, my friend.
You need to get the quote of him, not the text, but you got to get the audio of him actually saying that, and then cut that into a track, Bruce, where he goes, I sing like a donkey. I sing like a donkey. I sing like a donkey.
And then have
like
some Biz Marquee type, you know, yeah.
Let me hear you flow. Pope, you know what I'm saying? No.
Pope. This guy, I'm going to popularize this guy. All I wanted to do was, like, use this guy's face as toilet paper, and now I'm making this guy a pop culture icon. When you know he's just going to abdicate the throne, because he's no different than Hunter S. Thompson going out there just recording snuff and taking illicit drugs and hanging out with his attorney in a predator-natural relationship.
Speaking of pop icons, somebody died tonight.
Right?
Natalie Cole.
Wasn't that Nat King Cole?
Yeah.
Didn't Joe Pesci say something about he had a girlfriend who... Anyway, I don't want to go there, folks. Something about Nat King Cole's lips. But anyway, that's very sad. hey, they're not supposed to have any dead air here. Oh, she's smoking a big cigarette.
I got a big blunt in my hand.
That's right.
Blunt object.
That's obviously not a blood sacrifice, I believe. I mean, she died of complications.
Yeah, it looked like she had hepatitis. I mean,
that's
she was
very
suffering
sad. That's very sad.
Sorry about that.
She's very talented.
Horrible. I don't know, but Pamela got a new liver. I don't understand. How come this bitch got a new liver? Pamela, you know?
Didn't Borat want to roll around with her?
I don't know, but in theory, it would be like rolling around in a garbage can. So
worse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, whatever. But she got a new liver or something, right? A new kidney, something. I don't know, hepatitis, right? So it was liver.
Right. No, I just want to talk about the festivities a little bit more.
Somewhere.
Okay. Yes, we'll talk about Pamela's dumpster of vagina. But here's the thing: New Year's retards in Times Square. That's what they should have titled it. But you know what? There wasn't just New Year's retards in Times Square. There was New Year's retards all over the world. I mean, didn't we see them in Britain? You saw how stupid they are in Britain. They're like falling all over the place.
Pants
like,
down.
Contorted onto fountains and like barfing.
All
and
the guys had
pools
their
of
pants down.
Their snot and feces and just laying there.
Crying and with their
crying, yeah, like
butt cheeks sticking
like
out and their
wussies.
crotches out. Everybody was disgusting. It's just, don't you feel sick of yourself if you did that last night? Well, anyway.
We were just hanging out here, just chilling. We had like a friggin' ounce, more a bounce to the ounce, just hanging out, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Away from all the New World Order's freaking Big Brother's beat up squad and all these New Year's retards that gotta hold in their piss and shit.
But you know what? In case you did partake in the festivities and you do have a hangover, I will give you the remedy right now.
What's the remedy?
Well, in case you don't have it, you probably won't have it, is Boldo tea. You know, that'll start detoxing your liver immediately. But there are
Stuff works like a charm.
Yeah, it should be called undrunk. I mean, really. You take a couple, it's Boldo, B-O-L-D-O.
That's better than Gatorade.
It's from the Peruvian rainforest.
Doesn't have antifreeze in it.
Yeah, they grow it in Chile and Peru and Brazil and Argentina. They sell it and they use it all in South America for dysentery and also for a hangover. The quick hangover, it would be a Bloody Mary. You know, it does work because of your blood sugar. It will because the sudden drop in your when you get that hangover, you'll get sick because you don't have your insulin is messed up. So you just take Bloody Mary and you'll be fine, and then you shouldn't just drink after that for a while. Another thing you could do is just drink a lot of water, but the Boldo tea, burdock root could help also. Anything that'll cleanse your liver. Milk thistle will also cleanse your liver, but just teas in general. And yellow dock root is also really good, and cleavers and nettles. So if you have any of those or all of them together, you'd really be charmed.
Next thing you know, you're gonna have me up in the snowy mountains looking for a blue flower to cure cancer. But you don't need a blue flower that cures cancer, because now they're actually admitting that cannabis cures cancer. It was a top headline I saw. I mean, duh. How long did it take these retards to figure that one out?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there are some cancers that it will cure. I don't know what cancers it does cure, but I wouldn't say it cures all cancers. And if I did have cancer, I would be consistently doing many things to cure it, not just one. I would never just depend on weed. I would be doing like anything
I don't
possible.
call it weed because that's a bad rap. I call it cannabis. See what I'm saying? When you call cannabis weed, it's kind of like the whole Christmas tree tradition of just throwing out the tree like it's just a used condom on prom night. You know what I'm saying?
You should check out my song, More Chiba Chiba. Right?
That's right,
it's
yeah.
hot.
It's on iTunes. But here's
Can't stop, won't stop, puffing on the ism.
And that's what you're doing
Legalize
right now.
it. Oh, there's going to be some schism.
Hey, you know what I noticed? Cadman Plaza appeared by the post office. And they put up this big menorah, right? And it's nice. You walk by, it's nice. It's made of steel. It's like a steel menorah. It's welded. It looks tough.
It's kind of modernist looking.
Yeah, it kind of looks like they're putting up a building, like when they're putting up steel buildings. And it's a big steel menorah. Well, they can't wait to get rid of that thing. I mean, how long do they keep the trees? And I was talking about cannabis. That's why I went on to speaking about trees.
Right.
They keep the friggin' pagan Nimrod Christmas tree up, but they cannot wait to get rid of that strongest steel menorah, right?
Yeah, they can't.
That really grinds my gears. That really pissed me off the other day. It's right in front of that picture of Moses, too, you know what I'm saying? And then they always have, like, all these bums. That's another thing. They want to talk about de Blasio's making New York great. I think he's making New York just a bum-infested just shithole.
Something's happening.
I think de Blasio is absolutely corrupt. He's a devil.
But you know what?
He smells like azufre.
I don't know. But Bruce, there's still so many programs in New York that people do not know about that really are opening up many avenues for housing. It's not the same city. You're new here. There's a lot more buildings than ever, and there's all kinds of there's many housing programs. I looked on the internet. There's at least 50, 60 housing
programs. Why
is
it that every time I go get a loaf of pita, I gotta like hop and skip over like bums while I'm walking down the street, and a bunch of beds that are infested with Syrian and Yemenis freaking bed bugs.
Okay, that happens. You see that like once every 6 months. You will see a mattress, and
give me a break.
That's not where do you see the bums? I mean, they're in one area that we call limbo.
Let me tell you something else. Inside the grocery store, when it used to be Pathmark, but now it's deceased because the meat was just as bad.
Vile.
I'd go in there, folks, and literally there would be bums walking around, and literally they could just go up and grab a can of mayonnaise, stick their finger right in it, and you would have never known. Dip a hot dog, put it back in the case, put some tape over it, good as new, and you didn't know a damn thing. That's what you want? You want to spend billions on the surveillance state, folks? Just hire security guards to watch the scum. That's all you need. You don't need all these high-tech, newfangled Big Brother machines everywhere impeding on your civil liberties.
Like the Terminator?
Yeah. Especially that. There's reports that they have just new robotic cops now. Mm-hmm. But they kind of look like R2-D2. They're not as developed as like the T-1000 yet.
Right.
But, they're like in retard mode. But, the government's ahead 50 years in technology than what they tell you. So they're just keeping the other ones.
Yeah, they just let everything
Fort Knox
dribs and drabs. Like and from what I heard, that there was a compound, like a library in the White House lawn, or somewhere in Virginia. It's not on the lawn. I'm sorry. It's somewhere in D.C.
Underground.
Okay, and they do have like an archive, and then underground. And I don't know the exact location right now offhand. It started with an S, maybe called Suit something, and they have that's where all the files of history, of modern day contemporary history, has been stored, layers and layers underneath the archives. They've confiscated Nazi documents. They're the ones when we're over there in Syria and Iraq, and grabbing all the texts and books and whatever relics, souvenirs, whatever they decide to pick up, antiquities. They are storing information actually on this property in the archives. And a lot of it has been Nazi confiscated, and this was revealed. And I'm reading this book about the secret war on Jews, and in general, I mean, there's serious information. There's been propaganda. There's a whole system to go after the Jewish people. I mean, right now,
they're not just going to go after the Jewish people now either. They're going after everybody like they're the Jewish people of the Holocaust. Okay, yeah. And I tell you, it starts with 2016 starts a whole new set of draconian laws that you didn't know were going to go into effect, folks. And New World Order oligarchs are just chomping at the bit to get you to pay all their fines and to get you to just submit. Okay, they got the new laws. It's a new year. With the new year comes new laws and the Obama gun grab.
Yeah,
he is now about to executively execute gun control, which basically he doesn't have the authority to do that.
Yeah, I don't think it.
He doesn't have the congressional authority to bypass Congress with an executive order. It's basically null and void. Anything he enacts is null and void.
Yeah.
But they've been doing this, going back to Bill Clinton, who had executive orders on like you said, they hide documents under just secret bases and they use executive orders to do so. This Obama gun grab, you can believe that they're not just going to hide secret documents in those basements, folks. They're going to hide all your artillery, all your guns. They're coming for your guns. Obama could use this draconian legislation to do what Hitler did. Take the guns. Do what Stalin did. Do what Mao did.
Right. I don't think so.
Wake up,
I don't
America.
think it's going to happen. I think Americans are too cowboyed out. I really do. And every time they say the guns, everybody, the gun sales go up.
It is like that movie Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah, with Harrison Ford.
And the chicken wings.
Oh, my
Everything
God.
and the chicken wings.
We actually got...
That's what we did for New Year's Eve. We had Buffalo, what was it?
Buffalo chicken wings.
But what are they called? What's the chain
Bills,
called?
I don't know.
Buffalo Bills.
It's organic chicken wings. And we really don't go fast food at all, but it's organic.
Buffalo Boss. That's what
we
they're
had
called.
A small amount. But, it was nice and spicy.
That Satanist, Jay-Z owns it.
No.
Or he did.
No. Just because there's a triangle doesn't mean he owns it.
As soon as you walk into the joint, they got Lil Wayne rapping about how all these hoes love him like Satan.
I know.
And they got reptilians being killed by Harrison Ford in cowboy movies.
Well, I wouldn't doubt if Jay-Z had stock in it.
I kind of didn't even want to eat the chicken wing meat. I didn't know if it was some type of Pleiadian meat.
No, it was little. It was little. No, the Pleiadian meat was when we got from Pathmark. Those chicken wings were like freaky. We thought they were dinosaur wings. We were like, what the hell?
That's why Pathmark doesn't exist, because they had bums putting their fingers in mayonnaise and horrific cryptozoological meat in their butcher.
Okay, speaking of tyranny, we really, the New York City, there's laws. There's a really insane kind of PC law bill trying to be enacted. I don't know, on the table. What is it about you can't joke about a tranny?
That's right.
You can't make fun
You will get fined if you make fun of a tranny.
They really think they're going to pass that? I mean, that is absolutely obscene. I mean, just, first of all, trannies. There's guys that are transgender. There are cross-dressers. There are people acting because Hollywood makes them put on a dress. There are, I don't know, there's guys that have partially transitioned, still have their penis, don't have their penis, have
post-op, pre-op. No, I tell you, here's the headline. Out of control, you could be fined $250,000 if you offend a transgender woman in New York City. So I'll tell you who's putting this law into effect.
Kanye!
Yes, Kanye.
Blame Kanye West.
Can you call him Kanye? I think it's better to call him Kanye, who is obviously trying to cover up the whole Amanda Lepore thing he has going on, where he went after that tranny. So if anybody says, hey, didn't you sleep with Kanye, then she'll automatically get rich because she'll fine that guy $250,000. Well, you know what, Kanye? You could take that law, stick it sideways, right up your tranny-loving ass. You talentless schmuck.
And tell his lavender boys, his boule club, to stay the hell out of here. That none of them could come in as friends.
Yeah, he probably bought his wife 150 pairs of cankle-free high heels, where she can show off her cankles in deluxe high fashion.
Oh, God, could you imagine shopping for her? Oh, he probably loves shopping.
It would be just like shopping for David the Gnome or the Keebler Elf.
But we have to make fun of trannies, because really, that is so ridiculous. I think we need to.
Well, you want to be like Eminem making fun of Bruce Jenner now, saying he's gonna probably do something to him.
Oh, so Eminem's gonna get the first fine? He can come in here making fun of Bruce Jenner, and then he'll get the first fine.
Well, good, because he's got that type of money. I don't know if I got $250,000 if I.
Well, that would be funny.
Tranny.
Well, look, that would be very funny. Then we would go after them for free speech. We'd sue them for violating our First Amendment.
That's another thing, too, because Caitlyn Jenner is one of Kanye's girls.
Exactly. That's what I said.
So that's why he's trying to have his libtards pass this hate speech, PC, bull crap, freaking $250,000 if you offend a transgender woman.
It's one big happy family. It's one big media
agenda.
Is vile.
These people are vile.
Listen, a lot of those trans ladies, those tranny men, they used to be the wickedest bitches in New York.
Well, they all hang out at the meat district, right? Just like in those Al Pacino, Serpico movies.
Oh, yeah. I took a picture of a tranny's butt one year because it was really funny.
Dear God.
And I still have the photo. And he heard the snap of my camera. He came running after me. And I'm really quick thinking. So I was like, oh, I didn't take a picture of you. I was taking a picture of that bike. And that bike is funny. It had a very cool logo of a Batman. You know, it had a Batman logo, Bruce. And I took a picture of it, and then I went ahead and took a picture of that. But I had just taken a picture of that right beforehand. This is so long ago. And then I took a picture of the tranny's butt. And then the tranny was like, oh, you took a picture of me? And they're dangerous, man. They will come after you. They will take whatever they have. And they're big men. I mean, they're just walking around. Fuck that. Insult a tranny. Please feel free.
Yeah, they're big men because they probably enlisted into the military. And that's who the Gay Mafia consists of. These pink triangle, Gay Mafia, boule, infiltrated into the hip-hop now. They got them in Illuminati dress rituals. They think these guys are so cool. They got Dre on their shirt. Oh, yeah, the Chronic. They didn't know he used to put lipstick on before smoking Chronic at picnics.
Yeah, it's true.
And he listened to jazz. But these guys are just FBI rap COINTELPRO. It's just the Sharptons of rap. Just a bunch of gay niggas in dresses.
Yeah. Yeah.
I say Nigga, just like Pac did.
Yeah.
Hey, doesn't Pac look like Eddie Griffin?
Yeah, Eddie Griffin, yes. But
like
you know what? But you know what? You say nigga, and there's some people want to attribute me as a wigger, but I don't really attribute anything to color. But I'm saying if you were that type of person to attribute nigga to color, you would be called a spigger.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, Vivica says 50 is gay with Soldier Boy.
Okay.
So, I'm talking about gay boule. You want to attack me on my show when I'm talking about gay boule hip-hop. Here we go. Vivica says 50 is gay with Soldier Boy. I've never been on any cover of any magazine grabbing my dick while another man is touching me.
Behind me.
All right. So, Kanye, 50 Cent, and the gay game, or B-Dub, all right, they think that they're tough, right? I heard this guy used to be a male dancer at a strip club. A male dancer. They put all these actors,
right?
These studio gangsters. I mean, you have raw talent. You're one of the best I've ever heard in the underground.
Bruce, please don't get me started. You're talking about my real nemesises. People that have taken my material and
these guys are pathetic.
Rewritten my stuff, and I figured it out.
If they have children, you know what they do to their children? They put them in dresses. Okay, they feminize them. Okay, they have gay kids like Will Smith putting his kid in a dress. Okay, and it's all good.
What's his name?
Jaden.
What the hell? What kind of name is that?
You see that guy? He looks like a little Asian girl.
How many different girl outfits did they put him in? Like,
that's hard.
He was in like 5 dresses and like weird shoes with like girly girl socks with his hair like all girly girl out. I'm like, okay, no wonder why everybody's walking around so effeminate. I wonder why you see parties of girls with just girls. Because where are the guys? They're all turning into girls. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's... You know, I'm not saying guys can't have long hair. That's fine, you know, or dreads or whatever. It's cool. But
they're even doing that in the WWE. I mean, that wrestling team, the Dawn of a New Day, and they're all dressed in like purple lavender, and they're dancing with each other. Again,
that's the Lavender Club.
Gay boule niggas.
So Dre,
in lavender and pink.
So Dr. Dre, we can't make fun of. So trannies, they're saying that trannies don't have a sense of humor. So that's can't, if you punk or you joke on a tranny. And it's up to the court to decide whether you meant it offensively or they meant it or they can't take a joke.
What if they are a gay Nazi black tranny?
That would make it Dr. Dre.
That's right. Didn't you discover something about that?
Yeah, well, Dre, his looks very suspicious with him because, as you know, most black Americans are not really that black, okay? And every single one of them will tell you they have white in them, and they're right. Okay, because if you really look at like some dark skinned like Africans, they're dark, and when they're not like bred from American slave owners or whatever, or just and let me tell you, those Germans and Austrians have a real big fetish for black people. So you can imagine some of those very wealthy Nazis coming in from America.
I've heard them say in their Hollywood films that they always bet on black. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So there they are, coming in,
beer fest.
coming in with their Nazi money, spending it, on their little slaves. One gives birth to one that's cute, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Before you know, boom, boom, out comes Beyonce. And there you go, straight out of him.
Dre, even the name, Arnold Schwarzenegger's name, what is it? It's very derogatory for
Schwarzenegger, which
means
Schwarzenegger. Really means black plowsman, but really we know.
You know what it sounds like.
Schwarzenegger, okay? You're calling him a Schwarzenegger, okay?
So they had to have another Dr. Death somewhere, and what better than to have him in rap as the Dr. Death Row Records Dr. Dre.
Okay, so you have Dr. Dre, who is now Andre Young, okay, and you look at his face, and he did come out way pumped up that one time in the awards, and you were like, whoa, what happened to him? Why is he so big and freaky? And then I took
like the Terminator.
Yeah, looked just like the Terminator, like a freak, like a steroid head, and I put him next to Arnold and his father, Arabert Heim, Heim, and you could look up Nazi Dr. Death, and the physiological bone structure is identical. The muscles are exact, and Dr. Dre looks like Arabert Heim. His face, very, very similar in structure. I mean, you got to get over the skin, and people just see black, and then that's it. But I'm saying the facial structure is identical to this man, this Nazis. And even the aging, you could see it in his face. You could see it when he was young. You could see it as an older man, and you could see, the same exact expressions, the same kind of eyes.
So there you have it. These guys.
Nose, they're just a different color.
And then you have 50 Cent, who you said looks like he's the descendant of Monarch.
Yeah, but I wanted to make another mention about Dr. Dre being so powerful, on all the biggest powerful in hip hop.
But this really takes away their like street cred.
Yeah, it takes away.
You know what I mean?
He was given that position.
All these Black Lives Matter protesters that are marching now outside our own window. I saw 80 of them marching down our own window outside our own building. About 80 of them just looking inside the cars. Just a bunch of vandals, folks.
They
a
look
bunch
like
of
Spike Lee actors.
Just low-life scum. And Castle Doctrine applies to me, folks. Any of you bastards comes near me, you're going to get it. And it's just atrocious. These guys are being provided the soundtrack of their lives by these fake studio gangsters that are made up by Nazis, and just the Illuminati places these guys, these Dr. Dre's, Dr. Gays, puts them out there. Con Gays with doing threesomes with Caitlyn Jenner, and it's just horrifying. These guys are your idols?
Yeah, that's what they are. But they're children of monarchs.
People disgust me.
They give you
and
the
Black
idols.
Lives Matter stole FTP. I want to say fuck the police. Let's actually fuck that puto. They stole that from George Lopez. You know that? those scum, bastard communist scum. One of them even attacked a teller at a freaking grocery store because he asked him for his ID. I'm telling you, these Black Lives Matter protesters are the most racist of them all.
Right.
If you think about it. Only Black Lives Matter, dude? Really? I mean, these guys are just as bad as the PC guys.
Yeah.
As the libtards.
I hate that shit.
The scum.
I hate it. I think it's anything to separate people is terrible. But I think all lives matter. But I think it's a stupid slogan.
Yeah.
I think that they shouldn't have made it in a way that it ostracizes another. But there's a lot of unnecessary deaths that black people endure.
Absolutely.
Okay?
We're not saying that the police isn't militarized, and we're also not saying that we're not imagining this racism. I mean, I'm not imagining racism, folks. I mean, if I go into El Torito in Sherman Oaks.
That's California.
Okay. If I go into an El Torito in Sherman Oaks, I'm not going to imagine the racism. They're going to look at me and not serve me as fast as the Lebensborn that's sitting next to me.
That really wouldn't happen.
And that's El Torito. Oh, they'll look at me funny. And that's the thing that really gets me. It's like, motherfucker, it's called El Torito, Mexican restaurant. I can't come in here? You Lebensborn scum! It makes me sick.
So back to 50, we were talking about people in positions of power.
And that's who puts them in power.
Yeah, and...
The Lebensborn.
They
Nazis,
basically,
the Fourth Reich.
I feel like it was put in front of us.
Like Lebensblacks.
So I'm like, wait, so where's 50 at? If this guy, if Dre is related to Arnold Schwarzenegger living down the block from him in California, like on mansions, being a half-brother, they have the same father, okay? But if that's the case, then 50 got to be somebody too. So I look at him, and there he is in a big top hat. I'm like, top hat. He's like Curtis Jackson the Third or some crap like that. And I'm looking up, okay, so then he must be some monarch, breed off, and so I'm looking, I'm like, oh, that's pretty easy. And I don't know how I got to Edward the Eighth very quickly, who was a rebel. He didn't even want his throne, and he ran off with some chick, and then he abandoned his position. And then, probably then one of the kids was also a rebel and had sex with some black slave of theirs or something like that.
And there you get 50,
and
the monarch. MK
lineage,
Ultra,
blood
FBI, COINTELPRO,
and that's why
rapper.
people called him a snitch, and people called him for years FBI or this or CIA. It's all of that because he's protected by the FBI. He's protected. He's the monarch. He's part of the monarch.
Well, basically, the 1% thinks they're the functioning equivalent of God. So that's what these people, these artists of Satan, of the Baphomet, of Beelzebub, are the Pope's favorite people, folks. That's who they think they are.
Should I expose what I found? Speaking of the monarch,
we always expose anything we find. What did you find? What is this breaking news that I wasn't aware of that you're making so mysterious?
But you are aware of it, and that's the creepy
what is
thing.
it?
The creepy thing is that I might even be related to the monarch, but not the monarch as it is. Something that goes back to the 8th century. I was looking at my grandmother, and I was shocked, and I was looking at her face, and too many areas looked just like the queen. And I went and looked at I thought about her sister, and then I pulled up pictures tonight of everybody, and they look like they could all be the same family.
Right, and I could be related to Bigfoot also, but I'm not to displace what you're saying as well, just to add a comedic note to that.
Right.
But, no, really.
You want to add to that?
I have seen it, and it's there. It really is.
Everything is there. It's close.
Yeah, the bridge. I mean, maybe they're from.
Teeth,
they got from
some
separated family that nobody knew about, and they set this one up. And the other one was long lost. They have that.
Okay, but what's very interesting is that I'm of Jewish, right? And my grandmother is of the Cohen family. And then I went back and I thought, how far back did the Queen go and the monarch? And it went back into the same area where my family is purportedly from, in the same region, during the same time period. So the Cohens were directly related to some Khazar, which is the monarch at the time, and they put them in charge and they separated. They were all messed up religions. Some were Muslim, some were Christian, some were Jews. He said, "Okay, you Cohens are gonna, keep a tradition of the Jews and da 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 da. That's your job." And then, I mean, it's very strange. So it's very uncanny, and there's too many similarities. So I would say that it could be an 8th century trace, but that doesn't make me Nazi.
Wow, well, that makes you a Mischling then, or somebody's a Mischling, or there's Mischling somewhere, because we know the German crown is in Britain.
Mm-hmm. But it's before Germany, they were somewhere else, and before somewhere else, they were somewhere else. And before that, they were in the Ottoman Empire in Turkey.
They're everywhere. They're in Transylvania. Anywhere that says that there's a king or queen somewhere in Europe, they're there.
But the Khazar region, specifically, was all of the religions, and then they were in the Ottoman Turk Empire, and it all split up with the Hebrew language and the Turkish language and the Germanic languages. So all of it was, we don't know exactly what happened, and especially with my family, we definitely don't keep those kind of records.
Well, it truly is a fascinating find, indeed.
Very
terrifying,
creepy. Weird.
Which probably makes you part lizard.
Yeah, it makes me related to a lot of
Actually
the people
see your
we've
eyes
exposed.
shapeshift sometimes.
It's true. I mean, it probably, was the reason why I was...
I better watch out. You might try to drink my blood. The Queen's got some pretty big fangs.
Yes.
But does. You don't.
No, I don't.
You got some nice pearly whites.
And very pearls, yes. You know about pearls, don't you?
We do know about pearls.
We have plenty of pearls in our store at Etsy.com. That's we have two different stores. One with the beautiful pearls. I have pearl earrings with repoussé sterling silver at Antique Obsessions. Go to Etsy.com/shop/Antique Obsessions, one word, or you could just go to Etsy.com and type in Antique Obsessions, one word, or you can check Google Antique Obsessions, one word. You'll see a 50% off sale. And on so many beautiful items that are handmade, repoussé, antique sterling silver, one-of-a-kind, hand-forged. Bruce and I work on these one-of-a-kind beautiful art pieces all day. We have earrings, necklaces, pendants, and cuffs. And then we have another store. It's also linked to it, but it's very different. It's more like kind of punk and grunge and tribal and different, like Navajo and Wicca kind of inspired. And it's like natural stones and copper and things like that, and brutalist and rustic looking, and that's called conceptual subculture. That's one word. And we there's a 40% off coupon off at the top of the store. And you can go to Etsy.com/shop/conceptual subculture, or just go to Google, type in conceptual subculture. It'll take you right there.
And that helps support the show, folks. This is people-powered news. We're operated on our own, ladies and gentlemen. We operate on our own accord. And again, with the help from listeners like you, if you want to help the show, go to those stores that Jaja mentioned. And really, I mean, if you want to help the show and look good, maybe you want to buy something for your significant other, you want to buy her, or maybe you already bought her enough, but you can never buy your lady enough things, folks. You can never dress up your lady in enough jewelry. I mean, just look at the Queen. She's filled with all the Jews' jewelry that they stole from them in World War II. Right?
Yeah, but they're getting new rubies from Burma, from Myanmar, and I have a few also, actually. They're in conceptual subculture. There's a pair of 3. They're raw rubies from the same mine as the Queen, and they're illegal. But I don't tell you what they are, but they are raw rubies, and they're drop sterling silver earrings in there. And they are from Moguk, which is in the area of Myanmar, which is completely controlled and ruled by the Queens, because they have the most beautiful pigeon red rubies, and they're mined out of there, that part of the world. Just gorgeous. So, they did take the jewels. I mean, I don't know where that money is. Bruce. I mean, I think so many families they brought it here. It went into, like, for example, we use this gorum. We use real gorum. And gorum, it sounds like goring, right? So, I mean, they had how much money they could have taken. What do you do with it? If I was a goring, maybe I would have opened a company or funneled some to a cousin or some family, started a sterling silver, and it's like printing money, and Gorham Sterling, you could get their forks, their trays, their everything. They make a million things, but they had the very great high quality sterling, heavy usually. And we have a lot of things created from Gorings. I think it's Goring, but it's Gorham's sterling.
Wow. That we do. And, it's nice. Nice things that you're mentioning, nice things, opposed to this Trump presidency, which Farrakhan, who isn't the best person in the world either, but the worst type of scum, I mentioned Black Lives Matter, that type of scum.
He's like 10 degrees below.
Who says that Sharpton. Farrakhan says the White House will turn into the abyss from hell. The abyss from hell, folks. That is what a Trump presidency will turn into. And I couldn't agree with him anymore, because this is an abyss from hell. It truly is. It truly is, because how could I look outside my window and see the worst type of scum, and you have de Blasio, their commander-in-chief, allowing them to have guns, but people like myself or any patriotic American will be ostracized will be told not to speak up and defend in defense of your God-given rights. And people like de Blasio will empower the scumbags that are marching outside my window in this dawn of a new day, 2016. It truly aggravates me because I'm not a new man, folks. A lot of people have your New Year's resolutions. Well, I'll tell you something, I don't. I plan on being the same Bruce Montalvo that you have come to expect and love, folks, if you tune into my program. I didn't change. A lot of people changed at 11:59 last night, New Year's Evil. I didn't. I vowed to be the same, if not the best I could possibly be. And being that you're tuned in, if you want to keep tuning into the best in alternative media, you could tune in. You could listen on Stitcher. You could find us on your iPad, your iPhone. I mean, the show has become so accessible now, folks. I mean, you can find us on TalkStream Live. Well, we broadcast out of Spreaker.
Yeah, and if you go to Spreaker and Live Now every Friday night from at 9 to 10, you'll see that we are live now, probably very high up on Spreaker.com. So you can definitely, and if you get the app. Not
just Spreaker, I mean, we're way above all the Army PSYOP set up Jesuit talk shows on there.
The Jesuits?
The Jesuits.
Hey, I have some news about the Jesuits. Didn't I say that didn't we find that Peter Joseph and Leo Zagami look like brothers, like twins, like they came out of the same mother?
Yeah.
They don't even look like they could be cousins.
They look like they were created at DARPA or something.
Yeah, man, those niggas is clones. Leo Zagami and that Zeitgeist. So get it, Zeitgeist Zagami. That's what it should be called. Zorro. That's what they look like.
Now you're opening up the abyss from hell.
Yeah.
Because that's some creepy information. You put those guys' mugs right next to each other. And it's obviously not CelebrityPopMatch.com because nobody knows who the hell these guys are.
No.
But you should, because these guys are the worst type of scum there is, and they should be chained in some dreg in the Vatican and never, in the lowest dregs of the Vatican, and never allowed to spew their retarded rhetoric onto the masses.
Hey, Bruce. Okay, did you hate Zeitgeist?
No, I didn't. I mean, my good friend Jordan Maxwell's in it.
Okay.
And the information that is on Zeitgeist is collegiate and has been there before Peter Joseph. Nobody needed a Peter Joseph for Zeitgeist. That movie is basically just steering people towards a one world order and wanting to go and have powwows at the Marxist UN. Well, buddy, I ain't with that party.
Okay. So
I agree with the principles and the research that's done in Zeitgeist. Yes, I do.
All right, yeah. But, I mean, it canceled itself out, especially the first one, when it became like, when they mixed like religion with the 9/11 truth, which wasn't all in completion at the same time as trying to expose it as an inside job. Like,
well, they kind of wanted to
juxtapose the two.
They wanted to paint the picture that most people who believe in 9/11 truth are godless rejects that smoke methamphetamine in their mama's basement.
Exactly. Somewhere. They wanted to challenge. Say, oh well, they're challenging the media. Well, and your belief system. Oh my God. So they really did a whole number of discrediting themselves and canceling.
And that's how we ended up saying goodbye to 2015 with this Dubai horror inferno, which is reminiscent. Again, it triggers the memory of 9/11 in the subconscious once again.
Well, I mean, my whole attitude is that Dubai, right now, I'm sure, is that if they needed their they needed security. They needed to put their national security into place. I mean, that is totally where my head is at. Because they could have, that's what it all becomes. It becomes like a drill for the country. It instills fear. It's a duplistic purpose because it not only, creates like mass hysteria and fear and also, the government save me, somebody else save me. They also have a chance to then put in policies. They could come along later. They could say, oh, it's just a firefighter, but they don't know. They could come out and say, oh, it was a terrorist attack.
Well, they tried to say that some blind caught on fire, but we know it was the same team that was trying to put in the media. Oh, and they caught the guys that were supposedly plotting an attack in New York City for New Year's Evil. They ended up catching those agents, and they sent other agents to Dubai to start that fire there. Obviously, it's obviously a psyop to end a year that was just full of crisis actors and fear, to end it with the same just touch.
Yeah.
They were really out of control in 2015.
Terrible. I don't know why they would
The
take that.
psyops and the false flag attacks were just astronomical. It's ridiculous.
I can't even begin to start. I mean, it's just every time you
People
turn
want
on
to
the
say
news.
it's one of the worst years ever. Okay, in Smith-Mundt Act enabled news, yeah.
They want you to be addicted to the news. That's the thing. So they even make news. So much fake news. It's
Well,
like
the repealing of the Smith-Mundt Act enables
them
these
to,
fake news.
to fake news, right? So they're allowed. Actually, it's legal for now anybody to make up news if it's for the government. It's for propaganda for the state. That's very Russian
That's what
in
this
ideology.
is.
It's very
And where do they
communist.
set this up? They don't set these up at the mosques, folks. They set these up at the Masonic temples.
Yeah, where they
Right?
really.
And I walk by this mosque in Brooklyn all the time, and guess what it's called? Farouk. The same name they gave this killer in San Bernardino that never existed. That was just a mannequin, or some wax figure from Hollywood. I don't know, folks. But it's just ridiculous. Now they're making an ISIS tax. Really? So now you're going to tax me because these gutless cowards exist. Now you're going to tax me to go to war with ISIS. That's what it is. They're calling it the ISIS tax. And I'll tell you who else ended the year like a bum. Donald Trump, who really isn't running for the presidency. He's running to be the next Fox News radio show host. He wants to be like Lou Dobbs meets Rush Limbaugh. That's what... and Rush Limbaugh, Jim Morrison from the EIB network, even he doesn't agree with the Republican Party anymore. He says that they're garbage now. So that tells you Trump ended the year like a bum. His power got cut off in the mid sentence before they went to 2016. I heard.
Trump, the Trumpster, word up.
And you know who else is really starting
bump
the
out
year?
Trump.
He's starting the year off just like with his face in the mud, and that's Bill Cosby. Again, he's starting off. You got people like Eddie Griffin saying that it's a conspiracy against the blacks to bring the successful black man down. And, part of me wants to agree because, they do go after these entertainers like what they threw a girl at Kobe Bryant in a Denver hotel. He worships the Baphomet. He has some workout called the 666 workout. He throws out the triangle all the time. You know what he's going to do to that girl, right? If you put her there. To me, it sounds like they set these guys up along the way in order to have some dirt on them, and that's what you're trying to say. Bill Cosby, he's like ancient. He's supposed to be this black dad figure that the Black Lives Matter. That's where they act out because they never had a father figure, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why they're acting out. And here they're being attacked subconsciously. The parental figure, the Bill Cosby, is being smeared through the mud. Is this by design?
Yes.
Is this
I think they
psychological
knew,
operation?
That's the biggest joke.
I guess
because
the black man.
They take the most scummiest of the scum and they make him the ideal. Like I'm sure the guys from Leave It to Beaver were probably pedophiles and rapists.
But here's another thing.
Incest
Here's
victims.
another twist. The people that they're throwing at Bill Cosby seem to be reality show actors hired by Trump because Bill Cosby said something derogatory about Trump similar to Rosie O'Donnell, and you saw what happened with her. She's having problems with her daughter now, and her life's kind of in shambles now, and Bill Cosby's being thrown through the ringer. And to me, I heard a story the other day on the New York Post. One of these accusers from Bill Cosby bought herself a nice little ritzy condo with the money.
Okay, well,
so,
you know what?
That's the thing. They know, they see Kobe Bryant, they see him spin the basketball on the tip of his finger, and when he does that, you know what they see? They see money. All right, they see Bill Cosby telling his old fat Albert, hey, You know what I'm saying? Is
Zip zop, bibbity
it's
bop.
just a zip zop, zippity bop. I just wanted her to taste my Jello pudding pop. That's all it was.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the fact is that I wouldn't. I mean, that guy is mad ugly. All right. Now that Bill Cosby is ugly, and I would never get with somebody.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're around him, he's a predator. It looks like he's a predator. I mean, he could drop anything in your drink, and there's testimony that he did do that in certain cases.
Exactly.
I mean, he's paid off some chick.
Listen, I don't believe that they manufactured evidence. I believe that these women probably were scared. A combo of that they were scared to say anything because they're so rich and powerful and famous. They could have even been stepped to at the time and says it ain't the time to do that. Or we're not taking this case. It's going to cost this much, how much money? And it wasn't until they were able to actually compile all of the reports that were already made. And maybe some people didn't want to step forward because it's like embarrassing. They want to put it away. Granted, those girls, what were they doing out with that guy? What did they think? I mean, but you can't.
Bill Cosby's got the biggest frown I've ever seen in his life. I mean, his sad, drooping lips are literally touching the concrete.
Yeah. It just seems really, played out because his wife's like, following through the slander suits and
that's another thing. Why are they throwing Bill Cosby through the ringer? Why don't they throw Donald Trump and his Miliana, his slut wife who can't keep her clothes on, through the ringer? I mean, okay, Hillary Clinton, she should be thrown in the ringer too for just abuse against women. I mean, all the women that Bill Clinton abused. And this is one of the guys at the top. You have the Paula Jones, all the ones that Bill Clinton abused and raped, and Hillary just went around and just greased them off. I'm telling you.
You know what? These ladies.
There are worse people. There are worse people to prosecute than hey, what you people doing in my kitchen? That's what I think.
What happened during?
I think they just set up Cosby from the beginning.
Okay.
And he's just not a very smart man. I mean, he freaking slangs Jello pudding pops, for goodness sakes.
Okay, they were all a bunch of cheats, and that's how they all roll. And this one didn't follow something that he got some orders, and he wasn't following them, and he did what he wanted to do.
Yeah, he wanted to start his own network, and they didn't want that, and
then they started that. But
he dissed Trump, and
they're not going to let you play.
That's the final straw.
And they're not going to let you play unless they have that much dirt on you. So in the case you get out of line, they can pull much of a card.
Hillary's got some dirt on her because Hillary's two secret emails found in the New Year's Eve State Department dump.
Ooh. And what was it?
We don't know yet.
What was the date?
But we are out of time.
Oh, God.
And we will keep you at the edge of your seat.
Waiting to
New
find
developments, you can go to Expose News, alternative.wordpress.com. Go to Expose News at youtube.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Bruce Montalvo. You can go to our Facebooks, follow Jaja, go to our iTunes and check out all her wonderful music.
Yeah, Benghazi's coming out soon on iTunes. We got the little mastered version of it. Sounds hot. We put it into Alex Jones' little contest there.
That's right. That's right. Be sure to check out the InfoWars Hillary Clinton
video.
Roast of Hillary Clinton on exposednews.com. And thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining the best in alternative media.
Happy New Year.
Starting off your new year right with us. Remember, we broadcast live and worldwide from the epicenter of cool Brooklyn, New York. Live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern on TalkStream Live. You can go to Spreaker.com. You can find us there at the very top of the page. Again, this is Bruce Montalvo now from 2016, broadcasting in Brooklyn, New York. Bruce and Jaja wishing you a very happy New Year's Eve.
And special shout outs to our biggest fan, Linda and Ashley. Happy New Year, and thank you for supporting.
And everyone who listens to the show, thank you for tuning in. The Excellence of Radio Execution signing out for New Year 2016. Thank you for joining us.
Peace.
Hey you! Are you ready? Grab your pack, grab your tent, grab your gear. Jump in. We're going on an adventure. In Arizona, there's so much to see, so much to experience. At GCU, adventure is never too far away. Offering over 200 academic programs with a Christian worldview and nestled in the heart of Phoenix, you can earn your degree in fewer than 4 years and explore everything Arizona has to offer. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/AZ roadtrip.
Bruce Montalvo.
Continues to spread conspiracy theories.
Penchant for promoting bogus conspiracies as though they were fact.
Conspiracy theory.
This is CNN, a network of China broadcasting systems.
Bruce Montalvo is the only radio talk show host that's not controlled.
Support MBN, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, and shop with us over at Montalvo Store. Go to ebay.com and search in the advanced search. Type in Montalvo Store. Now support Montalvo Broadcasting Network. We have a wide array of books on conspiracy, apparel, and much more. Support your favorite radio station, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, by visiting Montalvo Store on ebay.com.
Hi, this is Jaja. Come shop with us at Poshmark.com/closet/anticulture. Sign up for Poshmark using our code ANTICULTURE. That way you can have $5 in your pocket when you join up and you can buy something from our store. We have mad stuff like upcycle things, Armani, Hurley, O'Neill. We upcycling all kinds of things like LL Bean. And plus we got our tie-dyes and just mad stuff. Just come check us out. Also, you can sell your own stuff too using the Poshmark app. But sign in first using our code ANTICULTURE. And you can find us at Poshmark.com/closet/anticulture. Or when you're up in there, just at Anticulture us. And you can look under the peoples. Check you out. Peace.